Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy M.K.S here. Hope everyone's well. I'm back at you with another video. I wrote up some of my ideas on Facebook about my plans for this day or the day ahead, or at the moment what's remaining of it, because I woke up quite late. Once again, I went to sleep late, about 2 hours later than planned, and woke up about 2 hours later than planned. Or even 3 hours later than planned. But anyway, thought I'd make a plan, talk about my plans on Facebook and on YouTube, and I'll probably try and make it different to what the plan I had on Facebook. And I often feel like there's never enough time in the day, because I always have all these lists and plans that I want to get through. But anyway, so I try not to waffle. This is another one of my lists of ideas I have, or thoughts I have, like empowering Asia, as I wish to stick to the theme of Asia, from 8 till all the way up till July, and then I would wish to look at ways to empower Indigenous or Native Americans. So anyway, I hope people out there will enjoy this video as much as possible. Try to do the best job as I can, do the best job that I can, as I generally try to do. Sorry if my English isn't that great. Anyway, getting on with the list. Number one, I hope to think of ideas and look into ways to support and generally empower Asia, including like encouraging Asians to start their own, especially in Asia itself, to start their own startups in Asia, and maybe even like look at ways Asian nations can work together as one and solve problems together, and just generally network and encourage people from the diaspora around the world, and make it easier to start a business or to run, or even if you've got a business abroad, to sort of get into Asia, as long as it obviously empowers the economy in Asia, but how they can make it easy of doing business and things like that, whilst also perhaps tackling corruption or things like that. But so basically to encourage like social enterprise to support startups and SMEs to grow their own businesses. I may have covered this before, I'm sure I have, but to start their own businesses and to grow, to go from startups, like also how SMEs and bigger businesses can support startups, and bigger businesses can support SMEs to grow and things like that. But I hope to encourage people, especially with especially with dyslexia or ADHD or autism, especially the first two, dyslexia and ADHD in Asia, to set their own businesses and to be inspired and encouraged and things like that. I might talk a bit fast because I want to try and get this list, this video done within 10 minutes preferably, or make it as short as possible, so that people hopefully would enjoy it more. So yeah, to support startups, SMEs, like social enterprise support startups, SMEs and things like that, all possible businesses to grow, but also obviously in order to grow you've got to get started. So I hope to encourage people, as I talked about before, about especially with dyslexia and ADHD, and encouraging entrepreneurs around the world with dyslexia and ADHD, like John Chambers and Richard Branson, people like that, Charles Schwab, to invest in and to teach what they've learned about business, and try to help as many people from Asia as possible with dyslexia and ADHD and things like that to set up their own businesses. Two, on that note, I hope to share things about dyslexia and autism and ADHD, and especially the positive sides, possibly some of the negatives as well, like how dyslexics might struggle in areas like understanding instructions or general academic stuff, or learning things in the same way as other people learn, things like that. But how we think differently, and we can learn, but it's just we learn differently. Like dyslexic people can learn to spell. I know that's myself, because I learned to spell, although my punctuation is a bit weird and all that, but I learned to spell and things like that. So I know I have a bad habit of putting exclamations and semicolons and things like that, I'm afraid. So apologies about that. But how other dyslexic people can learn to spell, even many dyslexics become writers and things like that. So I hope people won't consider it spam, but I hope to share like videos from YouTube and information generally with Asian YouTube channels and news channels and things like that, to encourage, especially to encourage dyslexic and ADHD students, and also non-learning disabled student or parents, teachers, and society across the age to learn about the strengths of dyslexia as well, not just the weaknesses. Like I know I've talked about this before, but how a dyslexic person could become the next Richard Branson or John Chambers or Charles Schwab or Ingvar Kamprad. I know he's no longer with us, but people like that, or even Stephen J. Canal, who made the A-Team, who wrote the script for the A-Team, I think, and people like that, and hope share videos about tips for dyslexics and all that sort of thing, so how people in Asia can encourage them. Number 3, I know I'm sorry if I'm repeating a lot of these points, but I talked about sending stationery and things like that, but pens, papers, coloured felt tips and things like that. I don't really do much drawing myself, so plain papers and things like that, or possibly some notebooks with my ideas on, possibly some blank ones like these ones, which are packed 10, where they can write up lessons they learn from videos, which I share, like inspirational, motivational YouTube channels and things like Evan Carmichael and things, and channels like that, which hopefully will inspire them. But yeah, like I say, each lesson, I hope they'll write as much as they can about that lesson in each notebook and share it with each other and use that to inspire each other, and update their skills during this coronavirus time and things like that. But I nearly forgot my point. That I was going to say, I wish to give that on condition that, like, say, if a nation in Asia goes to war with another nation, also in Asia, then I would say that I'm not going to send that stuff to that nation. So they have to be at peace and not go to war with another nation to get that reward. Hope that makes sense. And also hope to talk about what freedom means to me, because and I'll talk about these patterns, what each number means to me. So like freedom, like free, being free means to me like it means doing whatever you want to do without fear of reprisal or repercussions, and not having to do what you don't want to do. So those are 2 definitions, I think, of freedom, and I'd love to talk about what I would do if I was fully free, as I would see it. Number 4, I hope to encourage Asian nations to work together and not go to war with each other, and also people of colour to invest in Asia and support Asia in April, May, June, and August, and if not this year, then maybe next year. Encouraging this idea, then maybe I can get the ball rolling as soon as possible. A lot of these things will be like A.S.A.P, as soon as possible. Don't know why I did that quotation marks, but so there might be things that take me longer that I don't get to do in this day, but like I normally like to do the same thing on certain on. Sorry, I like to do different things on different days, but so on Saturday and Sunday, I like to focus on certain things. So if I don't do it this Sunday, I can perhaps do it next Saturday or Sunday. I hope that makes sense, I'll say. But yeah, I hope to encourage Asian nations to have peace with each other as well, and people of colour perhaps to lobby so that, say, our taxes don't go to wars that affect Asian nations. Like, we don't pay for the wars like the Iraq War, but instead we support people in Iraq or places like that, instead of supporting the militaries or the countries that take those on, that have invaded Iraq and places like that. So hoping not to waffle too much. Number 5, I hope I'd love to hear from the aspirations of people from Asia and encourage people like in slums and orphanages, what I've talked about before, to have aspiration, and I say dyslexics, people with ADHD, autism, and all different backgrounds, to have aspirations and to hopefully reach their full potential. 6, on that note, I hope to encourage people to reach their full potential, as I say, especially from Asia, and encourage as many people as possible to support Asia. Number 7, I did try not to repeat a lot of these ideas, but as I say, because a lot of numbers remind me of certain things, I'm finding it difficult to come up with new ideas. So I hope some of these things are at least different to some of the things I've talked before, and I hope I can get new ideas as well. But I hope for God to bless Asia as much as possible, like to protect them from natural disasters or anything negative happening. And in the past, I've talked about perhaps having a peaceful conversion of Christianity in Asia, but I hope not to cause any divisions or to offend anyone or anything like that. And I feel like a bit like a fraud because, as I talked before about, because I don't really go to a church or things like that, so sometimes I feel a bit like fraud when I talk about religion, but I do believe in God, but I might not always agree with them. Number 8, as I say, I'd love to, as I've said before, I hope for Asian nations to talk about the positive things about their own country and each other's country, and how to develop a passion for supporting each other, and people from the diaspora, as I say, to develop a passion for supporting Asia and empowering them, especially from slums and orphanages and things like that. Number 9, as I'd love to have social enterprise that supports writers, creative people, ideas people, poets, and all sorts of things, and support stories from Asia and things like that. And number 10, again, I'd love to encourage as many young people and even people from poor backgrounds to become startups, to create their own startups, start their own startups, and I also hope to encourage to suggest ideas for YouTube videos for Asian YouTube creators, and encourage more people to start their own YouTube channels and all sorts of things like that. And generally, just support Asian people, especially young people, to have aspirations and dreams and set their goals higher, and hopefully help them to achieve it. So I hope this video hasn't been too long. Appreciate any support, thumbs up or anything like that, and sharing of this video. I think I'm going to try and stop waffling because I don't want to go on too long. Hope you look out for part 2 and 3. Peace and love.